creative finance is an umbrella term for creative real estate strategies that can be used whether someone has equity or no equity in their home, and basically developing ways, putting together ways that a client or a seller can utilize their equity or their property to be able to close or get a deal across the table. And that's really what we specialize in, is we take a look at each individual property and look at, okay, how can we get this deal across the table, whether it has equity or no equity. And depending on whether it does or not, we put together a couple different options to see exactly if that may work for a client or a seller. And so with those, what we do is, after we've done the underwriting internally, we work with local title companies and attorneys that basically structure the deal. Because one of the biggest questions we always get is like, hey, I've never heard of what you're doing. Is this legal? And so everything's run through attorneys in the given state that we're working through, in title companies. And then what we do is set in place, like what mortgage companies do, set in place a servicing company. When the deal gets across the table, the servicing company essentially basically makes the payments and communicates each month to both the buyer and the seller following post-closing, essentially going forward, so that there's communication, and that there's a third party that's established that is responsible, that we pay, that will make the payments on behalf of us, the buyer.
So I'm Christina Livingston with East Key Realty, and I've been in the industry for about 20 years doing short sales and regular real estate. We were able to get them offers above and beyond what they needed, so they were able to move on. One was an estate, so the sister was able to successfully close out an estate, and the other one was really cool because I got to help a first-time home buyer move into a new home. This is a very kind of newer thing that us agents are learning about, the creative financing world. 100% would recommend John and his team to work with. If you have a property that's been sitting on the market for a while, he could probably offer you some assistance what to do creatively.
So before I met Jonathan and his team, just real estate agent working in the Lakes region, I had no experience with creative finance or any other creative strategies to get homes sold. As an agent as well, I was always looking for different angles and different strategies to help homeowners as well, because just having one strategy, it doesn't always work. Having multiple strategies helps, and that's where an investor like Jonathan and his team can come in and help. Not only do you cast a wider net for this property, more buyers see it. It doesn't only have to be a cash deal, which is usually what the off-market properties go. It's just cash deal because investors don't have to deal with financing. You open up a bigger pool of buyers, and you add an extra property to the inventory on market. You give the buyers another opportunity to purchase a home.
My name is Alexa Deely. I am a real estate agent. I'm also an investor, and I have been in the real estate industry for 12 years now. So I have done multiple creative finance deals. The majority of them have come from Unlock Home Project. I vary between owner financing. I've done all sorts of different types of creative financing. Basically, what happened was the seller was way behind in payments. There was $2.9 million in IRS liens on the property, and John and his team were able to remove all of that with the IRS and get it to the closing table. So we ended up saving the seller from a pre-foreclosure, so their credit wasn't impacted anymore. Got them out of the terrible situation that they were in. I have a beautiful primary home now, and everybody's happy, so it was kind of a win-win for everybody.